Hi, Trish.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for coming. How's everybody feeling?
Wonderful. And hi, Juliet. Julietta.
Julietta. Yes, hi.
Hi.
Hi, Omara.
Hi, how are you doing?
How are you?
I'm okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
I'm sort of squished because I don't know if you can see, I'm dog sitting. I've
Beautiful.
become that dog person who everyone leaves their dogs with for a few days. It's a big old spaniel, so I'm sort of on the end of the sofa. Oh wow.
Say hi.
Right.
Oh, he's so good. He's literally my dream. And we have Haas here too. It says Wall Street Finance, but he's actually a healer too.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning.
Hi. Haas and I were just at breakfast lunch here in Florida. And yeah, the energy is like feeling, is anyone else like exhausted? I
Yeah.
I haven't been sleeping a lot, but I finally today slept till 5:30 because I've been waking up at like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning every day. And I think it's like the solar flares or just the ascension. I don't know. What does everybody else think?
It's very draining in the UK. It's much more reality based, but at the moment it's really draining over here. So I haven't had any news or anything on today. I've just been wandering with the doggo, so trying to avoid reality today.
Can you teach us how to make these AI like tarot cards soon? Or like,
Yeah, it's a very linear process. If that's something that you want to do, it's just it happened in lockdown because I used to do live videos and go out and all of that, and then I couldn't leave the house. So so then I created an avatar. I had an actual avatar. The ones I do now are just video from um images. But so then you could at least be somewhere else rather than just looking at this wall or whatever. So
yeah, like even if it's not today, can we set something up that you teach
yeah,
us how to do it?
yeah, sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Cool. So where does everyone live? Where is everyone located? Paul's in UK and London. Julietta, where are you?
I'm in Florida also. I'm in Fort Lauderdale. Where are you in Florida?
I'm in Jupiter.
Oh, okay. Still
Not
ways
far.
north.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
Thank God, right? That's always been my planet too. I've always had like a crush on Jupiter since I was a little kid. It's so funny. Just like how it's like the furthest one away that they know about, right? And like how it's small. And I used to be like really just infatuated with Jupiter. Yeah. Nothing. Where are you?
I'm in the Netherlands currently. So I moved here and was really happy to connect on LinkedIn. And I'm glad you brought up the exhaustion part because I almost messaged you to say I don't think I want to join in today, and then I'm like, okay, no, let me do this. Glad I'm here.
Ah, I was
Where in the Netherlands are you?
So I'm near Utrecht. Live in the middle of nowhere. It's a village called
Oh,
Woerden. Um,
oh, great. I lived in Amsterdam for a couple of years,
okay, all
and I had
right.
friends who lived outside. I love the Dutch. They're just an incredible race.
Did
I
they
worked in Biddinghausen.
Oh
Do you know
wow.
Biddinghausen?
Lots of Dutch love going on.
That's a teeny tiny nowhere village.
Awesome. Okay. I thought I lived in the teeny tiny village. So yeah, I'll check that out.
Are you going to try and pick up the language?
So interestingly, I did pick up the language while I was in India and I did clear the exam, but then I
Wow.
kind of lost track. So I hope to get back onto it. So maybe this year I hope to really get back onto it.
Okay. They'll give you about 6 months and then they'll just start speaking to you in Dutch and say, okay, you've had your time now. And then it's really terrifying because you haven't put the work in.
Yeah. I kind of, picked up the words, but I still don't know how to reply back. I understand what they're saying, but yes. And like any other part of the world, I somehow don't understand what's happening on the in the train stations. That information I never understand. I think that's the same across the world.
Amazing. I have FOMO right now, being in the US. I'm going to the Conscious Life event this upcoming weekend in Los Angeles. Are you going to that, Julietta?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I've never gone, but I thought it would be a good chance to get to meet people in the US because a lot of my spiritual community is actually overseas in the UK and like some in the US because over lockdown, basically I got invited into this underground spiritual community of healers globally. And it was really nice because I really learned a lot and got to learn how to like manifest and to like find my true self. But it was still super like spread apart. So that's one of the reasons that I built Healerverse. I figured, you know what? How do you bring people together locally and also virtually globally and like people to find all healers globally and all different modalities, whatever they want to try. And like, I mean, even on like the full moon, you could just throw an event up there. And if somebody's nearby, be like, yeah, let's like meet up for the full moon or the new moon or whatever is going on. We have a eclipse, a huge eclipse this year in the US, solar eclipse. I think it's like the biggest one, maybe ever or in a really long time in April. So I'm excited to see what that will bring, the solar eclipse. So yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to, we've been doing this every week and it's been really fun and fruitful to meet everybody. We've had probably anywhere from like 15 to 20 people on every week. And I'm really happy that this is an intimate group today, actually, because it feels really good to connect with everybody. And basically, like in 2020, I moved from Florida to Colorado for a year and a half. And when I got to Denver, I was even Googling healers because I'm a Reiki healer and a Theta healing practitioner, but I couldn't find any healers on Google. And I'm like, I'm in Denver, Colorado. Like, this is absurd. How come I can't find friends? And also we were being censored and shadow banned on social media. So I'm like, that really upset me that my friends were getting upset and that, I figured, okay, I'll do something about it, like with love and light, of course, but so people can find one another and meet and everything and find different healing modalities that are just, also more enlightened conversations. And that's how this whole Healerverse came about. Its nickname was Ethers at first. And then I was like, what's a good name? And then Healerverse just kind of came about. And yeah, so we launched a few months ago. We were in beta for a little bit. Paul was part of beta. Thank you for that. And Michelle, who's on here, actually is one of our tech officers, like one of our tech guys. He's amazing and has really been basically bringing this vision to life for us to have tech for good and meet. And today, I really wanted to come together and talk about different healing modalities. If there's any healers on here, I know Ayush is here. He's one of our Healerverse healers. He's a yoga practitioner in India and such a beautiful love and light young man. And Paul also does tarot and readings. He's starting to do readings in person in London. And I don't mean to speak for you guys, but it's like, it's so cool to watch, like, you know, even healers trying new things and like coming together. And it's like, okay, who can we bring together even nearby to do things together? So I'd love to hear from you guys about abundance or about what you're doing and working on. And yeah, whoever wants to start first.
Is that the theme, abundance?
Yes, 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 yes,
Oh,
yes,
right.
yes.
I missed that one. Um, abundance for me is being tarot as the Queen of Pentacles, obviously, and it's nothing to do with the sordid topic of coin. It's to do with having enough time to do what really fills your soul, and actually being brave enough to chase that down, which is what I'm doing at the moment, because I was in corporate for a long time. I was talking to a friend of mine who's in the same team at corporate. It's very obvious that they're trying to put him in a corner and squeeze him out. And seeing it from the other side and the stress that he's going through, I'm like, honestly, it's really not worth it just for chasing the dollar. So abundance, as I said, is just about having enough time to follow your dream, which is what I'm trying to do here. And as Trish said, the shadow banning and the changing of the social media algorithms is one of the reasons. And I'm so happy that I met you in Portobello and we connected over that. I mentioned it last week. So that's what connected me here, because your energy just shines through the screen. And I can see that you're fully committed to this. So I think this could be a platform that that isn't affected by that toxicity. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I have gone fully digital. I mean, I did exist just as an avatar for a while, but as you've said, I'm now looking to re-engage with people on a more human level. So I'm also physically poking my toe in the water around London as well. So that's basically where I am. And abundance doesn't mean physical money, which is good, because at the moment I've got absolutely none. Yeah, you know, you come out of a big career where you're making loads of money and you start doing something like this, and you literally have to start from the ground up. But I am going to dig my heels in and see where I go with this, because corporate is going to kill me. I know it. So following my dream, there you go.
I'm so proud of you. And that's like as abundant as you can get is following your dream. And I feel like too, like we can do more together. Like we can do a lot on our own, but we could also do a lot together, you know? And sometimes like last week, even there was several healers from London, our Healerverse healers that you met for the first time.
Mm.
And like, you know, and actually like one of them is doing like meditations a few times a week at the library in London. And like, if you two come together, you could probably do some amazing events. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
I love that. Yeah. Well, Julietta, I would love to hear from you if you want. It's up to you.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm just a little like, I really have no idea. You sent me a message and I'm like, sure, why not? Whatever. And I am a healer. I was a physical therapist for 32 years, and my work as a physical therapist has not resembled physical therapy for so many years. And so last year I made the decision to create a ministry so I could continue to do the healing work without the restrictions of a physical therapist. And so so my license as a PT expired last November, and it was awesome because my license expired on November 30th and my birthday is December 1st. And so December 1st, not only being my birthday, but it was also like my rebirth day as being a healer instead of being a physical therapist, and releasing all ties to, you know, the Western medical model that is so not connected to healing. And so anyway, so I have my ministry, and I do one-on-one healing sessions with clients here in my treatment room. and have my magical bed that has healing frequencies that comes through it. And there's a biomat on there, so there's infrared, negative ions. I have crystals everywhere and all kinds of other stuff. So I do one-on-one healing sessions, but I also I have kind of a partner in crime. We have a podcast called Voices of the Goddess. If anyone would like, like especially Trish, if you want to come on and promote your stuff, on our website, which is VOTG, Voices of the Goddess podcast.com, you can go in and submit to be a guest on there. And then she and I also do things like we have a cacao ceremony sound bath coming up on February 9th for the full moon. I do chakra balancing classes, all different kinds of things that are just in the healing realm. So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. And I also do love physical therapy because in 2014, I actually had 2 strokes. Yeah, I was 86 degrees when the paramedics found me and resuscitated twice and in a 9-day coma on life support. And I had to learn how to walk, talk, think, everything again, like decide and move back and forth. And physical therapy and occupational therapy were the first like kind people that showed me how to do everything again. Like I couldn't do this. This was OT. But I
Yep.
couldn't feed myself, go to the bathroom, nothing. Like I was a child all over again.
Mhm.
And they literally like held me up with straps.
Yep. That was when I started in the PT world, I was in the acute. My first job was on the acute neuro floor in the hospital. So working with recent strokes, brain injuries, all of that. And then I did inpatient rehabilitation for stroke and brain injury. And then, when you do this for 32 years, you end up doing all things. So I've also worked with children with special needs. But now because that's a very like physically demanding job, a lot of lifting, a lot of, and as I'm aging here a little bit, I don't really want to be that physically, lifting human beings all day is more than I want to do anymore. So, but it's interesting. People do come to me with physical pain and dysfunction, but then people also come to me with spiritual, emotional pain and dysfunction. So,
Yeah. And they're very much all connected.
absolutely.
Yeah, big time, big time.
So, but congratulations to you for such an amazing recovery. You must have a strong will to be here on Earth right now.
Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, I'm so grateful. It was honestly the best thing that ever happened to me. And the doctor was like, I have no idea you're here right now. And even like the physical therapists were like, they were like, we're going to get you back better than ever. And they did. I've done marathons since then, triathlons, like crazy stuff. And like this eye didn't move back and forth. This whole side of my face is droopy. They were like, you could get surgery to like get this eye to stay up. So like for a year after, I used to just push my eye up. Oh my gosh. But I love physical therapists for like that reason. And it's a lot of work on your body. So now you get to tap more into your Sagittarius side and enjoy like more of like the healing of like your sun sign, Sagittarius, and having more fun with it. Yeah.
They do really get you going. I had a hip replacement
Really?
through my own, through my own fault, actually. I could tell you the reason why I had it. And I dislocated it 3 times as well. And the third time I was in the hospital, the physios came to me and they were like, okay, we're going to get you to see that. I said, I'm never doing anything ever again. You're never getting me out of this chair. And it was them that I owe a lot to. And actually, is it Ayush? Is that how you say your name? Yeah, there was one of the physios actually started me on some very basic yoga. She basically, because I was in the chair and I was going nowhere, so she got me led on the floor, and then she got me in a downwards dog, and then we sort of went from there. I can't remember any more names, but I felt very spiritual while I was doing it, and it was that got me up and moving again. But yeah, physio is really hard work. And I need to go to a yoga class. That just reminded me every time.
Love that. Yeah. And Nuthan, would you like to tell us about you a little bit? Am I saying that right, Nuthan, or is it like Nuthan?
Nuthan.
Okay.
Nathan with a U. Ooh.
Yeah, it's like, it depends on your accent, I guess.
Newton, and I guess even it's closer to Newton.
I like it.
Thank you. So Trish, I mean, you asked about abundance, and I think since last year, the word with the connection I have with abundance would be time. Just being able to have time, I think, is a great sense of abundance. The rest is all, may not happen, etc., etc. But then that sense of, feeling that you have time to do things, I think that's been like a great revelation. And I have to be honest, Trish, like I would call myself a reluctant healer because I come from maybe brand consulting. I think, I mean, Paul, etc., are from, corporate. And I never thought I would get into a field where I'm going into well-being. So I also had to fall ill before that happened. And for me, I guess, yes, the physical part started to actually make a change. And that was again from yoga. So later on, went on to do my master's in yoga. And so now I kind of create modules on, say, well-being. And I put it onto testing. And I think a couple of my papers got published in US itself. So I work in happiness primarily, and I work with a lot of educational institutions back in India. But now I'm here in Netherlands and kind of, learning to make things work here. And like I said, I think, I mean, a very reluctant healer, because there's this one part which has been so, into science and that kind of thinking, that this side has always been shut. But then no matter how far I go, something keeps pulling me back. And it's literally like, situations happen where I don't have an explanation, and then I just let it happen. So I'm kind of learning to embrace it, and I'm so happy to meet all of you because you have embraced it much earlier than I have. So I would love to see how I can also, open up more.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Peter, do you want to share? Okay. Ayush, do you want to share?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Trish,
Hi.
for this chance. Hello, all of you. My name is Ayush. I'm from India, New Delhi, and I've been doing yoga since last 1 decade. Actually, I studied it as a sport. I wasn't indulged into it in a spiritual way as people like Nuthan has did a master's in it. Like they went into it after a thing happened into their life. But it was an accident for me to get into yoga. I just joined yoga as a yoga player. um, I get into advanced yoga, asanas practices, and so on. Never learned about pranayamas as well before when I was studying it. Never learned about meditation and so on stuff. Just stretching up my body, making it more flexible day by day, going into the competitions, getting medals, gold medal, silver medal, everything. Somehow faces the losses as well in the career of this 10 years. But after a period of time, when people get into a phase where you have to choose your career, I decided to choose my career in yoga because I was just good in that field only. Yeah, I'm not talking about my academics because I'm not that much interested into the academics like physics, chemistry, maths, but I was very much like possessive for the yoga. Then I get into the studies of yoga. Now, finally, I'm doing my bachelor's in yoga. I'm in the first year right now in the universities, and um, from this journey, because I don't have so much things so much experience to elaborate in front of you guys, because as I can see, here is a lady as well who is having a 32 years of experience in his professional work life. So I'm learning each day, every single moment. I'm learning from you guys, from the atmosphere, from the last 2 or 3 years, from the lockdown, from the COVID period. From there, people started getting in touch of me to me, and they just giving me the teachings of their lives, the experience. Because whenever you are an advanced yoga practitioner, but at that moment you need a right guidance of people who are experienced in their life. And from last 2 or 3 years, I'm very much into the studies of yoga, the yoga theories, like so many kind of yoga, hatha yoga, yin yoga, ashtanga yoga, vinyasa, and these kind of texts like hatha yoga pradipika, Patanjali Yoga Sutra. These are the like Shiv Samhita. Like here is the master's student sitting in front of us. So it was a beautiful journey, not a big one, but yeah, it's just 18 years old I am right now. And yeah, willing to learn so much from the rest of the beautiful personalities sitting in front of me in the future. And yeah, this was it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And we learn from you too. It's the young ones, I'm telling you. They know so many things. Like, I think a lot of like the enlightened generation is like younger.
Yeah, like the people
Yeah.
of my age right now, they most of them are getting into professional lives. They are getting into the studies. Some of those are getting into the enjoying phase of their life. They don't care about their life, how it needs to be progressive, how it needs to be look like after 5 years. I'm not saying to get into a very, very developed future goals of yourself, but yeah, just know yourself, what you actually want to do. And I realized myself in the COVID time that I have to get into yoga. I have to get the knowledge of theoretical part, which is the 95% of yoga, I could say. Because like people think about only asanas as the yoga, and somehow some people also say it like meditation as well. But yeah, people just categorize these things as a yoga, but yoga is so far away of this. Like in 10 lives as well, you can't get the whole knowledge of yoga, to be honest. like like the professors who are having an experience of 20 years in their field, 15 years, 25 years, they are also learning from day by day researches, from day by day teachings. Because they are like in Shiv Samhita, there are like 8.5 million asanas which are still not discovered. So it is quite far to get into it, like, because it is started from a very ancient time. So if we get into it and want to learn everything for it, we need to give our whole life to in get into it. Because like it's a kind of blockchain. I could say it's a kind of blockchain. People started it, it I would not say the people, Lord Shiva started it, and they give the lesson to the whole world. People added it into their discoveries as well, and they forwarded it to the successors of the human life sources. And yoga is the source to live the life.
Thank you so much. That's so beautiful. And I love your love for yoga and your passion for yoga. Big thank you. Yeah. Beautiful. Peter. Hello. Hello, brother. Oh, he's muted.
I
Hi.
can speak.
Hello.
How you doing, sister? You good?
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, man. Looking well.
Yes.
Resplendent as ever from the wonderful space, which is very clear. I can feel that, which is nice.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. And yeah, so this talk is on abundance, right?
Yeah, that's a topic. Yeah. Well, you can talk about whatever you want, really. It's like an open space. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think it's about knowing that you are abundant, knowing within your soul that you already are who you wish to be, without kind of judgment, without noise, without feeling less or more, just kind of embodying what you truly are, which is abundance. You know, you are born of abundance. There's abundant love between your parents when you come into this world. The fact that you're here is a miracle, so that's abundant joy from the universe. And a sense of abundance is a intentional way of being and showing up to life. It's being able to say, yes, I am abundant, and abundance is me. So you become one with that, and therefore you are that, and not having feelings of lack or this one or that one. It's just, as you know, the manifestation heart is a heart that is open to the love of the universe, and that universe is abundantly full of energy. So therefore, there's no beginning or the end. So therefore, our abundance, and if we choose to be abundant, is the choice. So the subconscious doesn't know any difference. It is what it is. If it believes that you're abundant, that's who you are. And for my life and the years I've been on this planet, a lot longer than 18 years, um, as I've got older, I've realized discernment. I've realized be careful what you wish for, because you may well just get it, especially if you're on the right frequency. You will get it very, very quickly now as we're spinning into the Aquarian age, which is full of immediacy. You know, it's not about social media and that side of immediacy, it's how you turn up. And if your intention is correct, the immediate effect of that is something that is a beautiful manifestation of abundance. And if you just show with as the Dalai Lama says, you come with an open heart, then if you're giving love, you'll get love, because that's the abundant nature of love, right? And if you are so stuck up on what you can get, then that's lacking. So therefore, if you're grasping at things, it's like trying to hold sand. You can't hold sand because sand is free, it just falls. So the abundant heart is a heart that allows in and allows out and stays in the center of things, but knows it's okay. You know, recently I had a fairly abundant job. I was well paid, but I was abundantly stressed too. And it affected my heart. So therefore, I choose not to be stressed. I choose not to affect my heart. I choose not to be in a lower vibration. And I just feel the person I was working with, the company I was with, had no heart. It was very functional. They saw the people that I was trying to help get jobs, the apprentices, as grey mass. That's not abundance. That's sludge. That's nothing. That's a very low energy. So the abundant life is a light life. It's the kind of how would I put it? Just the illuminated sense of ascendance. Because if you put abundance, I feel abundance is a light energy. It's really allowing you to kind of grow and be like something lighter, because you're not in a place of lack or heavy fear or knowledge, or you think everything's going to be bad. You kind of, you know what? I know things are difficult. I know I've made this decision. I know maybe the money's not there or this is not there, but actually because of that, I'm lighter and I'm more abundant because of it. I felt a load off my shoulder when I made that decision. And everything is okay. What I expected and saw in my heart, the choices I've made have become that. You know, I am now, the whole idea of that role was to get me out and to do my own thing, do my own business and build my own team. Today, on the kind of the day that I was saying, we've got to have this conversation with a guy that I helped with his relationship come full circle. He said he recognized that, and now he wants me to run one of his businesses. So now I become an MD. So it's kind of scary what can come into your life. But that's what I choose a year or so ago, and it's come full circle. So the abundant life is the patient life. It's the light life. It's the awareness that if you carry the light and you share the light and you do good to others, good can only come back to you. You get what you give. So abundance is really, really like the Healerverse. You know, it goes out, it goes down, and it comes back. It goes out, it comes down. It's not for you to grasp, it's for you to allow. So for me, what abundance means to me is living intentionally, and it's living in the law of allowance. I allow my life to be intentionally driven by spirit, and spirit to intentionally drive me. So it's a relationship between me and the high energies of the 5D, really. I shut up now.
That
Thank
was
you so
so
much.
good.
Yeah, that was so good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you just spoke right to my heart. Like speaking about like basically, and this is like what I picked out of it, even like abundance being the opposite of fear. Like when you're like in the 5D and you're just like high on life and kind of just like ascended and almost like in that theta state, or just like happy and you're not really like fear of losing or fear of not getting, right? You're just really happy and living. Like that to me is like ultimate abundance too, for me. And that's why I love to hear everybody's like version of abundance, because it's going to be different for everybody. And I think too, it could be different day by day, depending on where we're at, right? Because we're having this human experience for a reason. And I think too, like something else that was mentioned, like almost like the fear of being a healer, from past lives and stuff, and like just like some of the criticism, people will be like, oh, it's woo woo, and it's like they just don't understand that we're fucking happy and living in abundance, like literally, and actually have good intentions, whether it's like in like the like you know bridging the gap with like the medical society or like academic society or like other light workers or whatever. I mean, we're all like just here to like do better in life and to help others, right? I think that's why we're here. I don't know. I think so. Like we're here to help others. So like whatever way we're choosing to do it is amazing, I think.
Can I just follow on from that level of consciousness I get? Because we are here to help others, and by helping others, we help ourselves. Because we've been fed the lie that we must go out for there, we must grab that, we must go for ourselves, we must do this, we must do that. And that may have worked before, but in this energy, it does not work. Because it's the reciprocation of giving out, like I said, this opportunities come from actually meeting someone at New Year's kind of high vibe, kind of you would say hippie festival, whatever. It was just like very beautiful, and everyone was in a really good vibe, everyone was having a good time. And that person said, "Oh, you're going to get the role." And that person who I was talking to, I did get the role, and they did come and do the same digital course that I was, part of that business. And it was that person that I was trying to help their relationship with the person I'm now going into business with. You couldn't make this up, right? So, Nikki was just going for a hard time, this guy. And I said, he doesn't sound that bad. I think you just need to be lost. Kind of, there's a real need, I feel, with the abundance kind of piece, and actually abundance of self-love. Because once you love you and you're in that love space for you, that only brings love out, right? When people want, I need to go and love, I need to love someone. Why am I not being loved? Because you don't love yourself, right? And she was in that space. And I said, well, you're going to lighten up, love you. And if you show love, he'll show love. And then I've heard the other side from this guy's story. Said, well, I was a bit of a this, a bit of a that, but I changed my mind, I changed my heart, I changed my vibration. So by that, he then got healed himself. The relationship got better. His business is growing exponentially in the AI artist space, and it just energy feels right, and it's cleared stuff. So we come full circle, and I think, and I have another example before I hug the call. Sorry for being late. Was another person I went to a festival for, and I wanted to help him. I thought, why am I want to help this guy? Then he had a massive breakdown because they lost nearly £57,000. It's a lot of money, right? And that's coming back. But all the step of the way, I got someone else to help him. I know I couldn't. But because of that, other opportunities have come that allow me to then see if I can help him back. So you start kind of, there's this kind of a circle of gold, or wealth circle or abundance circle that just becomes that vibration that comes, spins up rather than spins down. And you have the choice to take your vibration up through abundance and kind of allowing yourself to be of heart and love and joy. But also you got to be aware of that. You can't be that, and you could be aware of the shadows and your own shadow, and not getting greedy and trying to stay in space. But at the same point, just be aware of your environment and where you are. And if it isn't working, like work environment wasn't working, don't be afraid to shift. You have the abundant nature and belief in yourself and what you believe, whether that's God or the universe or whatever that is, and know that you're okay. The best way to really push things forward with your life is to let go. The way we've been taught is actually the upside down of what reality is. The reality we're given is an illusion and a lie. So really, what's on the other side? And that's where we're at now. And this kind of energy is about creation, and it's about relation, and it's about kind of community. It's this whole, the way the things are going, even though we're moving exponentially into this side of, I'm sorry, the right side of technology, but the left side of indigenous and ancestral, knowledge is coming as well. It's kind of really, really interesting kind of mix of high energy and kind of the veil being thin with the kind of technology and knowledge we're getting, moving so fast. Yet we're realizing that in order to do that, we need the grounding of our ancestral nature as well. So there needs to be this coming together. And once we do that, we can share the abundance. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Haas, do you wanna chime in? We were speaking about abundance earlier. Maybe he's napping. Well, I would say, yeah, I'm just really grateful that Healerverse was able to get live. It took 3 years to get it up, like 2.5 years to get it up. Like some people on this call have known what I've gone through to get there, but I feel like I had to too. Like you talked about releasing for like expansion, and I had to release so much to like just get the platform up. Like my background is not tech at all. My background is literally love spreading, and I started on Wall Street when I was like 19, and it was never for me. I was like always a light being, like walking around there, like not feeling like I fit in anywhere, And then I found like healers, and I finally had people telling me that they believed in me and they saw that for me and that everything was possible. And I'm like, I always heard why things wouldn't work. This is new to me. I'm like, I like this. I like this so much. Like people just supporting each other, like in dreams and creation and beauty and abundance and love and just living. And I feel like anytime I ever told people my crazy ideas, they would always shut them down, right? Tell me all the reasons why it wouldn't work, almost like protect me, or they just couldn't see it. Or both, maybe, or to protect themselves. I don't really know. I can't jump into their shoes, right? But and like prior to my near-death experience, I got signs from spirits, but that escalated things. Like I went to the other side in the tunnel and the whole bit, and that really did escalate things. Some of you know my story, and yeah, and like prior to that, I actually lived a life of heavy substance abuse and use, and I died of a cocaine overdose that day. My heart stopped, and I've actually been sober for over 9 years. Thank God. Yeah. And I love numerology. Like my birthday is 2/8, and I died on like I basically my rebirthday is 11/17, which also adds up to 2/8, Um And I'm an Aquarius sun, an Aquarius dominated chart. So I'm like, let's do this Age of Aquarius thing. Let's do it together. Ah, and I really want to support and help healers too, like with their businesses and with like matching people together locally at any events. Like, so I heard in the UK, Eventbrite now is making you pay for events, like tickets, even if they're free events. Healerverse, if it's a free event, you know, like it's a free event, you could put the tickets on there. We take like less percentage of ticket sales than Eventbrite. We have to like obviously keep the platform supported and everything. It's not like backed by like major companies. It's been backed by me actually for 3 years, the whole team, community, everything. Like that's abundance right there. I was able to make it. I don't know. When I didn't think I'd make it, things would just happen. I'm like, all right, like I'm supposed to do this. Yeah. Sweat, blood, tears, literally like stress. Because I just, when you're supposed to do something, the universe like makes it happen, you know? But sometimes it's like you just, it's hard to believe. Like, is it gonna happen? So, and yeah, and it's still new. We have a few thousand people there. I think we have like 15 healers on there. And
Amazing.
like one day we'll have thousands, millions, everybody coming together, you know? So if you're doing any events, put them on Healerverse for sure. And what else are we doing? Yeah, so healers are able to put like unlimited workshops on Healerverse. Right now, it's only $44 a month or $444 a year. And if you're using one of like the workshop or course platforms, it costs more than that. I really just want to give people a place to meet, and it will go up in April to double that. But for now, just to like bring people on in the early phases and like start building the community and people get to meet each other. That's always going to be a thing. My dream is like when I travel to different countries, I want to be able to find my people. I obviously don't go to bars, right? So like, how do I find when I go to like wherever, anywhere in the world to go find people to go to events and meet up with, like, you know? And yeah, and like also when I go travel, I couldn't find healers in Denver, Colorado. Julietta's from the US. She knows Denver, Colorado is like known for healers. I couldn't Google anything, can't find anything on Instagram. It's all censored and shadow in. I'm like, this is crazy. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And
Colorado's got the Garden of the Gods.
yes, yes, yes.
It's an incredible
Um,
space, incredible place. Come out and see the mountains. And yeah, I went there for a wedding. It's incredible. The energy was amazing. So yeah, there's a lot going on there, and maybe they're just hiding. And what I wanted to say, sorry for butting in, is the manifestation of things. I've kind of got involved with a professor who's a kind of is well renowned for the art of happiness, and he's taken over something called the Engineerium in Brighton, because I live in England, in Brighton. It's by, for you guys, it's by the coast. It's like in the southeast. I live in the southeast too. It's an old engineering works, and it still has steam bits in there, but he is taking it over to get people happy. So it's literally got big spaces and a hall will take 450. We want therapists, we want events. That's probably opening up properly in May. So if you're ever down in Brighton, guys, or if you need to potentially do something, or you got therapists you know in the area, there's a venue basically. I'm also involved with the All About Love Festival, which is a 5-day event, which has a club night in heaven, which is like an all-day event where everyone comes there and does drumming. I was doing a festival last year, and we had high vibe artists from 28 countries. And so that's maybe happening again this summer. And it's some stuff that I kind of know in this space. I'm kind of involved with quite a lot of different people. So if people needed something or someone, or if you need a venue, I could connect you. I'm at your service.
Thank you. Yeah. And tell all the healers to come out to Healerverse and everybody that's attending so we could all come together. Yeah. Well, does anyone have any last words that they want to share?
Trish, I guess I'll go with that. I mean, I just wanted to add to something, beautiful that Peter said. Like I mentioned, I mean, again, the reluctant healer. And then same thing when it comes to religion, spirituality, all that. I try my best to run away, but it I just keep getting pulled back right in. And something beautiful happened while in India. There is this temple. It's dedicated to this goddess called Mukambika. And so in India, we have like the three main gods. But then she's like the one who created the three main gods. And I mean, it's this amazing sense of feeling that you get when you go there, and she is also Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi is the goddess of abundance, so she stands for all that. So personally, I come from a Catholic upbringing, which is very against all this. But then you realize, I mean, and always abundance is considered money, but then you realize abundance is something so much bigger. It's about that peace in your heart. I mean, as Paul mentioned about the pentacles, it's about, being able to just feel that lightness and everything, going around and, you being in that center of it. And somehow that space is able to channel that energy. It's not a very well-known, very famous temple because it's more for wisdom. And nobody wants wisdom. So yeah, but it's a beautiful place and lots of things that Peter had to mention as well as Paul kind of, took me back there and it felt really good. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for creating this beautiful space. And I feel like back when I began my spiritual journey, like it was really, really difficult to find people on the path and to I do believe now that there is an abundance of people. I'm flabbergasted that you had a hard time finding somebody in Colorado because I feel like everywhere you go, there are spiritual minded people, and it's definitely growing and shifting. And everywhere I turn now, that there's people that are wanting to be part of this. And so beautiful what you're creating. I wish you tons of success with this. And I messaged you the link if you would like to be a guest on the podcast. I sent that to you, and feel free to share with anyone that needs a space to speak their voice. And it's not just for women, even though it was created by women for women. We do have male guests on the show. Actually, recently we've had more. I think we've had more male guests recently than what we've had female guests. And I think on YouTube we actually have more male listeners than women listeners. But it is the time for when I was in Egypt back in 2017, Isis spoke to me and said that the only way to heal the planet right now is for the sacred feminine to come forth. And as women, we have easier access to that energy, but we must heal ourselves and present forth with the sacred feminine, not the toxic masculinity has brought out so much toxic femininity. And it's time for us to heal. And by healing ourselves, we heal the planet and we create a beautiful space. And I think I'll shut up now because I've said enough. And I also need to get ready because my client is here.
I loved it.
But it was so nice meeting all of you. And I wish you all a magical day.
Thank you. I'm going to send you a message back later today or tomorrow at the latest. I might even take a cell phone detox the rest of the day.
Beautiful. All right.
Thank you. Aw. Well, guys, does anyone want to say anything else, or we could wrap it up a little early?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. I've got to
Let's
dip out
wrap
and do
it
some
up.
service around the corner.
Yeah. It's like I'm feeling called to like go and just be outside and be off the like tech, you know? Yeah. Yeah. And then next week I don't like there's trees, palm trees. And then next week I'll be on the plane to Conscious Life, so I can't host this if anyone else wants to, or we could just take a sacred pause. I'll write it in the space. I love you guys.
Fantastic. Great to see everyone. I've got to dip out now.
Take care,
Have a
Paul.
good one.
Take care, guys.
Take
Big love.
care.
Cheers.
Nice day, all.
Take care,
All the best.
Trish.
Love you, Peter. Thank you for coming. I love you, Ayush. And Nuthan, it was
you, darling.
amazing to meet you. She was so cute.
Take care, honey. All the
Okay.
best.
I love
Okay.
you. Thank you for
Take
coming.
care. Bye.
Bye.